Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is October the 5th, 2020. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable, buying over crying, people. Crypto over college. Oh, we'll talk about that. And personal responsibility is a new counterculture. 5-digit realm. I'm offended by selling. We're one day closer to an all-time high for all you people who are bored out there. Don't be bored with life. Don't be bored with Bitcoin. Hello, my lead friends. How are you doing? If you have questions, I have answers. So type in BitcoinMeister, do a super chat to get my attention, and I will answer your question. All right. So, and make sure you watch yesterday's Beyond Bitcoin show. I actually talked about the crypto over college concept there and a lot of other fun topics. And disruptmeister.com. Follow me on Twitter at techbalt, TECHBALT. I'm not just saying these things. You should really do it. That's your homework, baby. It's part of the BitcoinMeister ecosystem. Don't be an algorithm servant, okay? Think for yourselves. Go check out other places other than what YouTube tells you to check out. Now, old videos, old quote unquote from 24 hours ago. They're still good. They're still relevant. People don't be a Bitcoin, don't be a YouTube compliant bootlicker. All right, now what do we have here? This is inspirational. Michael Saylor. Oh yeah, you love Michael Saylor because his company bought up a lot of Bitcoin, of course. And he's become kind of a cult figure, the MicroStrategy guy. But I will say this: we're going to critique this tweet of his. It's a positive one. 21st century investors lost trillions clinging to 20th century ideas. Gold peaked in the 19th century. Buy Bitcoin. Okay. Now, I got to say, that's a long-term thinking type of tweet. If we're going to critique a tweet, if we're going to critique a story, we have to say which one of my sayings it goes with there. 21st century investors lost trillions clinging to the 20th century ideas. Yes, long-term thinking. That makes me think of long-term thinking. You're saying, hey, man, we're in the 21st century here. This is not a time to do things the old way. How are things going to be in the future? And I'm going to have to be patient for the new way of life to emerge totally. But it will. And we will laugh at some of the ways we did finance back in the 20th century. I mean, already, are you still stuck in that banking hours paradigm? So I will say this. I will give it an 8 on the Meister 20%er scale. Okay? That's an 8 out of 10 in terms of being a 20%er type of tweet. All right? So good job, Michael Saylor. It's a little gimmicky, maybe. I don't know. That's maybe why it's not a 9. But think about that. 21st century investors lost trillions clinging to 20th century ideas. Gold peaked in the 19th century. Buy Bitcoin. Don't stick with that old school. We got a Bitcoin 2.0 here. All right. Not Bitcoin 2.0. Bitcoin's the next Bitcoin. I meant to say gold 2.0. Pound that like button. Sounds like I need an education I need a Bitcoin education if I'm saying Bitcoin 2.0, because if you have a correct Bitcoin education, you know that Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. And 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Not into value your wealth in Bitcoin. Not in some altcoin. That's a gimmick. Bitcoin 2.0 is nothing but a gimmick. So let's talk about education right here and now on this beautiful day that I want to go running on in Salt Lake City. What are we going to say about education here? First of all, CoinDesk, they read my mind. I was talking about education and Bitcoin yesterday, and they have an article. It's called, Can Old Schools Teach New Tech? All right. Now, I'm going to say this. Bitcoin is the true economic education, okay? That instead of sitting in some virtue signaling class all day, having some professor tell you about the joys of communism or socialism and capitalism is evil, you learn it for real when you're holding that Bitcoin and you're taking personal responsibility over your Bitcoin. But can old schools teach new tech? Would there be, I would be all for universities having classes in Bitcoin, in cryptocurrency, okay? Why? Just to get it out there, It might wake up a few people, but still, these universities are just churning out these cogs in a mindless machine. So CoinDesk they've got a new gimmick, and they're going to rank all the universities, which ones have the best blockchain classes, okay? Universities are key to getting new industries off the ground, providing the infrastructure to take paradigm-shifting ideas to the next level. Okay, I will say this. Universities are good. They're definitely good at putting ideas into mainstream society. And what I've noticed here in Salt Lake City is that the universities have definitely ingrained a certain political narrative into all of the people that they spit out, and that you should feel guilty and you should be a victim and promote victims. Now, CoinDesk wanted to see how well university. So I will say this. In theory, if they actually taught Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, maybe those ideas would get into mainstream society. Okay, I mean, I'm not waiting around for that, dude. I'm not waiting around for the hope that society is going to change because universities, besides teaching all the nonsense that they teach, that the three Bitcoin classes that they offer are going to really have a big influence on mainstream society. And again, I'm into the counterculture. And that is Bitcoin. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Now, CoinDesk wanted to see how well universities are doing on blockchain. Over the last few months, we've gathered data on a host of metrics, from courses in cryptocurrencies that universities offer to whether they have dedicated blockchain clubs and research centers. I'll tell you this. I would say it's more telling if a university has a Bitcoin club than a Bitcoin class. That individuals have gotten together and said, "Hey, you know what? We're interested in this. We want to take it to a new level. We don't care what a professor says about communism, socialism, capitalism. We're doing it on ourselves. We have a club." Okay. Now, so Bitcoin over Berkeley, crypto over college. Someone suggested the Bitcoin over Berkeley saying, and what we've got here in this world today is that Bitcoin is a classroom for individualism and personal responsibility. Today, universities are spitting out helplessness, controlled, collectivist. Bitcoin is a place for cold, hard money and freedom. And college is a place for feeling, safety, interference, and regulation. So CoinDesk, great. You can cover that side of things, okay? The university side of cryptocurrency. I'm going to say this. I said this on yesterday's show. I truly believe, and I'm going to talk about it more and more, that you shouldn't go to these universities now. If you want to be successful in life, if you want money, if you want personal responsibility, if you don't want to be just this mindless cog repeating these mindless mantras, not looking out for your own health, not letting other people manage you, that's what the universities teach. Collectivism. Bitcoin is individualism. So in this day and age, why pay tens of thousands of dollars for your kid to get indoctrinated? Let them join the counterculture, and that is Bitcoin. And I do believe that even learning about cryptocurrency and DeFi and altcoins, that'll lead you to Bitcoin eventually and lead you to freedom, okay? It puts you on better stable ground than going to universities and just, I don't know what these people are that come out of it now. I wouldn't hire any of these people. Not any, that's an overstatement, but so many of the people, even from the economic side of things, I mean, they want other people to control their lives. I think that's what it boils down to now. I don't want I want youth. If I was a youth, if I was given the option, if I was told the truth, hey, you're going to come out of this more dependent, and you're going to lose, and you're going to pay $50,000 a year, or you can go on your own, learn about Bitcoin, learn the 5 skills. I mean, the 5 skills of the golden age of Bitcoin. Just knowing how to send a Bitcoin is much more valuable than the social justice warrior concepts that just cloud and confuse the youth of today. So crypto over college, I'm going to talk about it more and more. But hey, if you're stuck at a college, and there are classes in cryptocurrency, it's not bad. Compete, don't complain. On this side of things, there are going to be entrepreneurs out there teaching Bitcoin for cheap or for free. And then on that side of things, the traditional education structure might teach a little bit about Bitcoin. May the best paradigm win. Pound that like button. And watch yesterday's show. I did talk about that more, but we're gonna talk more about this crypto over college thing more and more. So is 10K so boring now? Okay, is the 5-digit realm so boring that we forgot about the following here? The longest streak of Bitcoin closing above $10,000 is 60 days. This is from, by the way, 123 No Scope. We are now at 59 days. If we close above 10K for 2 more days, we will officially beat the streak. Now, he actually left that on as a comment like a week or 2 ago now. I don't even know how long ago. I've lost track of time. I value my time in halvings, first of all. Pound that like button. But so has the streak, is there a new streak in terms of the daily closing price? Why I don't know is because there were 2 days recently where Bitcoin did leave the 5-digit realm for a little bit. And I don't know if it closed there or not, but it appears to me that, 5-digit, we're so used to the 5-digit realm that it really doesn't matter if there's some closing streak, daily price closing streak anymore, because that's the old financial paradigm. That's the bad 9 to 5 paradigm. But it was an interesting streak. And for me, I like to put things in perspective so people who are still stuck in that old mentality can understand the awesomeness of Bitcoin and what the 5-digit realm really means. And that, hey, we're one day closer to an all-time high, and to value your wealth in Bitcoin, and not what the 5-digit realm really means is that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Okay. Now, this week at Bitcoin, Brecky, Brady, and Dennis were on. It is linked to below. Please check it out. Let's see. No, I see Abraham, who went to college, is here talking about his experience here. Gary's in the house. Good. And some great people are in the house here. Remember, retweet this, people. I forgot to put that in the message here. All right. There we go. Retweet this. What's next on the agenda? All right. The rules of the game. We learn in college that it's all right to change the rules of the game. It's all right to rule of law. That's the thing of the past. There is no truth anymore. Postmodernism. Do what you want to do. Okay. So I would say in the mainstream today that, yeah, rule of law, nah, that's not cool. Rules of the game constantly changing in the middle of the game, that's common. That's acceptable. So in an era where the rules of the games are constantly changing, Bitcoin is a rock of stability where innovation will thrive. Now, why is Bitcoin a rock of stability? Because the rules of the Bitcoin game never change, okay? Never change. And investors, they want to get into something where they're not going to have to constantly think about it and change it, all right? That all of a sudden, no, that's what you thought you bought isn't what you bought, okay? Real estate, for example. Real estate, constantly new regulations and taxes. It's a pain. Why would you try to build in the real estate industry? Now, a lot of people do try. They can manage all of those. Well, in certain municipalities, people don't try anymore. In Baltimore, is there a lot of new building? I mean, you have to bribe people, basically. I mean, you have to have a minority contractor status. All this nonsense. All these rules. Why can't you just build a building in Baltimore? That's true real estate. No, you can't do that. That's how things started off back in the old days. But the rules of the game have changed over time. With Bitcoin, that isn't true. The rules of the game stay the same. And that, there's only going to ever be 21 million of them, okay? You know how every 210,000 blocks that the miners are only going to produce half as many Bitcoin as they previously did, okay? This is set in stone, and you can build, so we can't even imagine what you can build on top of it. But it's a reminder that we are more and more in mainstream society. You can't count on anything. You can no longer count on anything. Everything is changing. So why would you want to invest in any? Why would you want to open a business now? Why would you? The government can just shut it down randomly. There's no stability there anymore. So I always talk about the 21 million. I know for some people that's not very glamorous at all, but the concept of stability is so valuable to an investor. Okay, and it's so valuable in an era today where there is no stability. And Bitcoin is it's a security truth machine, baby. Pound that like button. Now, what is this here? This goes with it. This is a Dan Held tweet, or part of it. I like this first part of it. Bitcoin promises an alternative for citizens across the world to keep their savings in a form of money that can neither be confiscated nor diluted. That second part, nor diluted. That's the stability right there, okay? And savings is based upon stability, okay? Savings is based on long-term thinking. Savings is based on not being impulsive. All right. Let's see. Any questions? Oh, yeah, there is a question. Roman Q. Do you have more Bitcoin than you did last month and the month before that? That's the only streak that matters. Yes. Pound that like button. That is the only streak that matters, doesn't it? That's awesome, man. That's truly valuing your wealth in Bitcoin. All right. All right. So someone says that I don't know if this is true. It wouldn't shock me at all. SEC charges McAfee for shilling ICOs. If that's, I mean, wouldn't shock me at all. That when you mess in that realm, okay, you're gonna have to deal with he's out of the country anyway. But if this is true at all. But it's true. They're saying, okay, I hadn't read it yet. Yeah, I wouldn't even have covered something like that. It's such clickbaity stuff. I will say this: this news story about John McAfee that I've just learned of, what is that on the 20? What is that on the 20% scale? That's about a 3. That's about a 3 out of 10 right there. Okay, because it's total clickbait. They're going to use it as a clickbait. Who cares what that dude does? He doesn't. I mean, he says anything for money. And he took money from all sorts of individuals, entities that now it's caught up with him with the SEC. He played in the dollar realm, and it bites him in the tuchus there. Okay, so it's a lesson everyone already should have learned. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. You don't listen to don't get into gambling because of some famous person, quote unquote famous person, told you to get into gambling. Personal responsibility there. He should take personal responsibility. He should have. He's such a genius. He should have known this was going to happen. So, yeah, clickbaity story right there. But hey, it's breaking news, I guess, if this is happening. All right. He would say anything. I mean, he'd promote any ICO out there. But hey, some people do that. That's how some people make money. You can only take that so far with the SEC, though, I guess. 50 Satoshi era Bitcoin moved on Friday after the This Week in Bitcoin show. There was an article that came out about it. In the old days, that would have been a big story. Actually, a few months ago, that would have been a big story. It wasn't a big story. Yeah, okay, somebody that's had Bitcoin for a really long time move their Bitcoin. It happens. It happens. Did they sell it really? Who knows? Now, I mean, you can't hold on to it forever. Some people will because they lost their private keys. Ouch. Now, speaking of clickbait, I think this story is semi-clickbait, but it brings up a question we get asked a lot here. Bitcoin breaks the 100 million user milestone, according to researchers at Cambridge University. I just want to remind everybody that there's 7 billion people on Earth, and it's over that now, but let's just round it to 7 billion. So 70 million would be 1% of the world population. So 100 million users would be over 1% of the world population. Do you think over 1% of the world population has Bitcoin or has had Bitcoin at some point? I still don't think it's there. I still don't think it's there. I think they came up with a round number, or they forced themselves with a round number. It's kind of clickbaity. People pick it up. 100 million. Not that many people even picked up this story. So I will say this. I'll refer everyone to an old article from, it's from January 2020. And I don't worry about users. I worry about entities. And Glassnode came up with a measurement that there were 23.1 million Bitcoin entities back then. And with 14 million with greater than 0.001 Bitcoin. All right. So the point is, I don't think it's 100 million. It was 23.1 million in January in terms of entities. Do you think it's quadrupled since then? And even if you thought that number was underestimating it, I don't think we're at 100 million serious. I mean, nah, I don't think we're at. There's so many people with multiple addresses, and I think the Glassnode does a better job boiling it down to entities instead of users. But hey, guys, eventually 1% of the world will be Bitcoin users. There's no doubt about it. 2%, 3%, 5%. It all starts with that one Bitcoin, though. Of course, it's just like it starts with that 1% of the world population. I'm not too worried about it. If it is 100 million, I'll be happy. I will be happy, but I don't think it's that high yet. I mean, try to conceptualize what 100 million is. That's the That's the population of Japan. That's a third of the population of the United States. I mean, in the United States alone, I would say conservatively, only 2%. Well, not conservatively. I think it's a stretch to say that 2% of Americans are Bitcoin users. Although if you throw in GBTC, maybe it's okay. I'll leave that topic. That'll always be a clickbaity type of article, though. Okay, there are always going to be these articles because we'll never know the truth. Number of people on Earth, number of people in the United States that hold Bitcoin. The algorithms love when you do 100 million or 50 million or whatever, a billion. They love that. So you're going to keep on seeing articles about that, and most of them will be like a 3 on the 20%er scale there. The BitcoinMeister 20%er scale. Okay, now, what's this? And what that means is if you're a 20%er, you shouldn't be worried about it. You should be more interested in concepts that are higher up on the scale. And KuCoin got hacked at the end of September, and I forgot to mention it because I was traveling and whatnot. And supposedly they found the hackers who stole the $281 million. Okay, maybe this time they'll get prosecuted by the Korean authorities, and maybe they'll be able to get some of the money back. Do you really want to? Was that worth the risk, though? Keeping your money on KuCoin and Korea? It is. When I was in Korea back in the end of 2017, lots of they don't know about Trezors very much over there. They don't know about controlling your own private key very much over there. So it's a hard lesson to learn. They've had a few hacks there. I do hope that they were able to track it down, but that doesn't mean you should feel like, okay, hey, dude, I'll keep my crypto on an exchange. I'll keep my Bitcoin on an exchange. Authorities can track it down now. Don't bet on it, dude. Don't bet on it. Finally, well, first of all, is that I post this on Steemit and Hive, and Hive was a fork of Steemit, of Steem. Hive has like been weird lately. Okay, like it was down, then it was sort of down, then you had to clear your cache in order for it to work. Dudes, Hive, I would love there. I've said this so many times to someone out there to master social media and cryptocurrency. If it involves an altcoin, it involves an altcoin. Okay, it will get more people in the Bitcoin. And all the Hive people were the grassroots people who left Steemit because they didn't like Justin Sun taking it over. But dudes, it's not running right now. It's something's weird over at Hive. But hey, good luck. I hope you get your thing straight over there. And still, Justin Sun hasn't done his magic on Steemit yet. Long-term thinking, be patient. That Steemit stuff, he'll do something with it. Everybody loves Justin Sun in altcoin land. So if you're some altcoiner, yeah, there'll be some Steem news eventually again with that dude. Remember, dudes, never buy what you can get for free. I want Hive and Steem to do well because I get it for free. I post my shows over there. Never buy what you can get for free in cryptocurrency. That is a freaking 10 out of 10 on the 20%er scale, okay? That saying, well, because all my sayings are 10s out of 10s on the 20%er scale, because it's coming out straight up out of the mind of the guy who originated the whole freaking 20%er concept in Bitcoin. All right, now, companies should issue tokens instead of adding to debt, says Arca, the guys over at Arca who love tokens, who love DeFi. Okay, compete, don't complain. I know you guys like to diversify for the sake of diversification, and you think DeFi is good, but I agree with you guys. Companies should issue tokens instead of adding to debt. My translation is companies should be able to print their own money instead of adding to their debt. Why not? Why not? The countries will be doing their Fed coin soon. These guys should be able to do their own tokens. That is the way of the future. It will happen eventually. Long-term thinking, this old financial paradigm of issuing debt, having to pay people back, whatever. Too many middlemen in there, okay? Just make your own, let the market judge, okay? But no, the way people are today, what the colleges are spitting out are people that are worshipers of regulation, okay? That's what the financial minds coming out of colleges today are guys, no, it must be regulated. We must do things the old way. This is the way. This is the way. And that's why it's better not to go to college, okay? That's why it's just better to live in the space, to learn it, baby. And then you'll be like, why could anyone even want regulation? Why could anyone want to issue debt? And hey, you guys can still do it the old way, but like a freaking 15-year-old now can create his own token. That's the way of the freaking future. Pound that like button. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, though. That is the world reserve cryptocurrency, the base of it all. It is the most stable of anything out there in traditional finance and in cryptocurrency. So, of course, everything is going to be so much, not everything, so much that we cannot even dream of in this freaking golden age is going to be built on top of Bitcoin. Get pumped, dude. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm going running. See you tomorrow. Bye.